As Israel considers its response to Iran's recent missile attack, the task ahead is both complex and fraught with danger. Watch our next special report on how any Israeli attack will face a formidable Iranian defense system that has grown increasingly sophisticated over the past years. Israel is expanding its war in Lebanon, unleashing one of the most deadliest bombardment on Beirut. The Israeli military continues to pound Gaza, but the real test for the Israeli military prowess will be on the Iranian battlefield. Tuesday night, the Israeli skies were ablaze as 200 Iranian missiles struck Israel. Strident voices are seeking a decisive Israeli blow against Iran. Former Israeli prime ministers are calling for an attack on its nuclear facilities, while the Israeli defense minister had warned of turning Iran into Gaza.
Whoever thinks that by trying to attack Israel will deter us from reacting should look at what is happening in Gaza and what is happening in Beirut.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu echoed the stance, promising a severe response and labeling Tehran's aggression a costly mistake. Meanwhile, Washington has urged caution, dissuading Israel from targeting Iran's nuclear or oil facilities, but backing a proportionate response. The big question looms: how will Israel execute a strike on Iran? There is first the geographical obstacle. Lying between the two adversaries are several nations, making a direct airstrike logistically challenging. Israel will have to cross over Jordan, Syria, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia to reach Iran. Israeli fighter jets, F-15s, F-16s, F-35s are highly advanced. These fighting machines are indeed deadly, but they lack the range to reach Iran without mid-air refueling. That will require access to foreign airspace. Israel could also deploy its Heron drones, capable of 30-hour missions. Another weapon of choice for Israel could be long-range surface-to-surface missiles. Though IDF neither confirmed nor denies possessing such capabilities, even if Israeli jets reach Iran, the arena will not be like Gaza or Lebanon, where its jets can drop fire at will. For decades, Tehran has built up its defenses to thwart off. Any aggression. Iran has multi-layered defense systems. Iran's Bavar 373 system, touted as one of the most advanced systems in the world, can detect and engage a wide array of threats, from stealth aircraft to ballistic missiles. Iran has also deployed several batteries of Russian S-300 missile defense systems. Tehran has also amassed thousands of drones and ballistic missiles, making it clear that any strike on its nuclear or oil facilities would trigger fierce retaliation. Iran's aging air force may lack the cutting-edge technology, but its missile arsenal poses a significant threat. With tensions at a boiling point, Israel is carefully weighing its options, knowing any strike on Iran will not be as straightforward as its operations in Gaza or Lebanon. Bureau Report, WION, World is One. David B. Desroches is a professor at the National Defense University and former Deputy Director for Peacekeeping in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Professor Desroches, thank you very much for making time for us and welcome. Israel has promised to retaliate against Iran and has also promised to use force. What mode of attack are we talking about here that Israel may choose to use?
I think that it depends on their target selection. So in April, the first time Iran launched a missile and drone attack at Israel, they had a very limited but precise target. What they did was they destroyed the operating radar for one of the S-300 systems that your report mentioned that was guarding one of the Iranian nuclear sites. So that took the entire S-300 out of operation. They basically said, we can destroy your most valued asset, protecting your most important site. I think this time they have a range of 4 options. One option is to attack the nuclear sites. One option is to attack the missile production sites. One option is to attack oil export facilities, and one option is to attack oil refinery facilities. Iran has threatened to attack Saudi Arabia and the UAE if their oil export facilities are attacked. And of course, Iran has threatened to retaliate against any strike against the nuclear facilities. I think that in the short range, what we'll see is missile attacks against Iran's air defense systems. The S-300 can and has been defeated. Bavar is actually not so highly regarded, although it can, it can operate effectively under certain conditions. So I think they'll destroy the air defense, and then I think it's most likely they'll go after missile storage and production facilities. There's an outside chance that they'll hit Iran's oil refinery capability, which would affect Iran's ability to produce and to distribute oil within Iran rather than their export capabilities.
Professor, let's talk about this air defenses and what Iran has in its arsenal. Many critics have said attacking Iran will not be a walk in the park. It's not like Lebanon or Gaza. What does Iran have in its arsenal that will be difficult for Israel to permeate? And also talk to us about the air defense systems that you mentioned.
Right. So any air defense system, has to be respected. Bavar is basically a copy of a 1970s, like an early version of Patriot. It does have the ability at a low distance to engage. It can be fed by radars with a longer range. Pretty much every air defense system can do that, but it is limited in the range of its interceptor missiles, and it's also, the interceptor missiles are not very highly regarded for accuracy. The S-300 is of more concern. The S-300 is the next to the latest Russian system, and it has the ability to integrate multiple sensors. The missiles have a significantly long range. So the question there is, can it be neutralized with electronic warfare or with attacks? And Israel has demonstrated both a substantial electronic warfare and cyber capability, as well as the possibility of sabotage of these missiles from within Iran, because as we've seen, Israel has a pretty impressive network of agents within Iran. So it's not going to be easy, as you noted. It is a modern air defense system, but if it attacks, if the systems are degraded either through EW or sabotage, or if they're attacked from an unexpected direction, it is possible to defeat them. I think what we'll see will be a targeted strike on 3 or 4 facilities rather than a nationwide strike.
Professor, finally and very quickly, how will the distance between Iran and Israel make it difficult for Israeli jets to take or even fly long sorties over hostile nations?
Yeah, that's right. That's the key factor, is the distance. There's 2 considerations. First, it's a long range. So as you noted, you have to have air-to-air refueling. That means that a very big, slow airplane has to be doing figure eights someplace between Israel and Iran. And the second factor is the states there. They'll be overflying sovereign airspace. So will those countries give permission, or will it be ignored? And then will Iran attack those countries if they allow Israel to fly over it?
All right, I've been talking to David B. Desroches, who's a professor at the National Defense University and former Deputy Director for Peacekeeping in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. We'll have to leave it there, Mr. Desroches. Professor, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.
It's an honor. Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.